A few days ago, I created a rock explosion effect to blow up enemies when the player killed them. I loved the idea that this little character could punch these huge living boulders and make them explode with his bare fists. But after a while, I got tired of punching them over and over again and realized that the game would become tedious if the player had to constantly punch enemies. I don't really have the time or energy to make the player shoot magic spells or have a gun, so I came up with this mechanic of bouncing bullets back to the enemy. The bullets that the player returns are faster and do much more damage. In this case, these enemies are so weak that they are killed with a single bullet. I want to keep all enemies' health points pretty low. I deeply dislike damage sponges in video games. They usually break the flow of the game and make the character's actions feel pointless. While playing around with this mechanic, I realized that it's a pretty interesting risk-reward system. To be able to shoot the bullets back at the enemies, you have to align yourself with the bullets, therefore becoming vulnerable. But if you smack the bullet back at the right time, at the moment it's feeling pretty nice, and the game still feels quick and responsive. The bullet smack mechanic is quite fun, but there are some design choices that I have to make before continuing. I am considering slight variations that can make the game feel very different, severely affecting how levels are designed. The bullet is returned to where it came from, nothing else. We just compute the unit vector that determines the direction of the bullet and make it the inverse. We increase the speed and the damage of the bullet. This is a quick and cheap option that will be easy to understand for players in order to strategize their moves during playtime. It's not exactly realistic, taking into account the shape of the player's hitbox, but it is functional. We compute the line between the player and the bullet at the time it enters the hitbox. That is the direction in which the bullet is returned. This option is a bit more in sync with how physics should work, but it's messy game design wise. The amount of possible angles that the bullet can take is very large, although in a small range. Trying it out, I realized that it could be very frustrating for a player to be in combat with a boss and miss him by only a bit. I want to make the game hard, but fair, and adding this nearly random computation just feels lazy, even though it's more realistic. But, I mean, we are punching bullets with our bare fists, so who cares about realism? The last and riskiest option is to modify how the player can aim their punches, like in Hollow Knight. It feels fun, but a bit overpowered to be honest. One of the things I like about the mechanic is the fact that you have to get in front of the bullet to punch it away, but with this system you can do it from anywhere, which feels a bit too easy for my taste. At this moment, I think I'm going to go with option A. It's the one that feels more in sync with the game I'm building, and also can make the player feel like they are strategizing, instead of guessing where their bullets will go.